Hi, I'm Emily Parker, and this is the story of how my perfect sister's dream wedding turned into a nightmare. Not because I wanted revenge, but because sometimes the truth refuses to stay buried. I was adopted by the Parkers when I was 6 months old. My parents, especially my dad, James Parker, always assured me I was just as much a part of the family as my younger, biological sister, Kate. For 28 years, I believed them. Dad's company, Parker Innovation Labs, was his pride and joy, a small research and development firm specializing in manufacturing solutions. I grew up watching him pour his heart into it, spending late nights in his home office, reviewing projects and proposals. While Kate thrived in dance recitals and beauty pageants, I inherited Dad's passion for innovation. I interned every summer, learned the business inside and out, and after earning my engineering degree, joined full-time. 8 years later, I was Chief Innovation Officer, helping grow our company into an industry leader worth over $100 million. Kate, meanwhile, became a successful social media influencer, sharing luxury lifestyle and relationship advice. Her engagement to Thomas Bradford, heir to Bradford Technologies, one of our biggest competitors, was the cherry on top of her picture-perfect life. This merger of families will be perfect for business, Mom gushed at Kate's extravagant engagement party. It was held at our family estate, with champagne flowing and tech industry elites in attendance. But I couldn't shake the unease. Whispers stopped when I entered rooms. Board members gave me strange looks. And Dad had been avoiding one-on-one meetings with me for weeks. Then came the bombshell. Kate, radiant in her designer dress, clinked her crystal glass on the grand staircase to gather everyone's attention. Thomas stood beside her, the proud CEO in training. "Thank you all for coming to celebrate our engagement," Kate beamed. Then her gaze found me in the crowd. "But there's something else we need to address tonight." My stomach dropped. "Emily, dear sister," Kate said, her voice dripping with false concern, "we need to talk about the money." The room fell silent. "What money?" I asked, my grip tightening on my glass. "The $2 million that's missing from the company accounts," she said, pausing for dramatic effect. "The money you've been embezzling for the past year." It was like being hit by a train. Whispers erupted. I turned to Dad, hoping for support, but he wouldn't meet my eyes. "What are you talking about?" I stammered. "I would never." "We have proof," Thomas interrupted, holding up a folder. Inside were financial records showing systematic theft traced back to my personal accounts. My heart pounded. "Dad, you know I would never steal from the company. Everything I've done has been for." "Save it," Kate snapped. "You're just the adopted one, trying to take what rightfully belongs to the real Parker family." The silence was deafening. Dad finally spoke, his voice quiet. "The evidence is clear, Emily. I think it's best if you resign immediately. We won't press charges if you return the money." My world shattered. "Fine," I said, setting my glass down. "I quit. But you should check those records carefully before making accusations." I walked out with my head high, ignoring the stares. Kate's voice followed me. "Don't forget to return your company laptop and phone. We wouldn't want you deleting any evidence." She had no idea I'd been documenting everything for 3 years. That night, I accessed a secure server containing every email, transaction, and file proving who had really been stealing from the company. Spoiler: it wasn't me. Kate's wedding was a week away, an extravagant event with 500 guests and every major tech player in attendance. Little did she know, I had my own plans for her big day. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't about destroying someone's future. It's about revealing the truth about their past. The next 7 days were a whirlwind of preparation. I contacted key industry players, arranged a meeting with the SEC, and compiled airtight evidence. Most importantly, I called Joe, the company's original programmer. Joe had worked for Dad since the beginning, designing our core software systems. Kate and Thomas thought he retired 6 months ago, but they didn't know he still had backdoor access to company servers, at my request. "Got everything?" I texted Joe the morning of the wedding. His reply came instantly. "All set. Let me know when to hit send." All the data had been downloaded and verified. The proof was irrefutable. They had never thought to change the master passwords, an oversight I was counting on. I couldn't help but smile, imagining Kate's face when she realized her so-called clever financial tricks weren't so clever after all. Every penny she accused me of stealing could be traced directly to offshore accounts belonging to her fiancé's family. At precisely 2 p.m., I parked 2 blocks away from the St. Regis Hotel. The wedding was set for 4 p.m. in the Grand Ballroom. Security was tight. Kate had seen to that, but she had forgotten one crucial detail. I had designed and installed the hotel's entire security system 3 years ago through Parker Innovation Labs. Entering through the service entrance, I nodded at the kitchen staff, many of whom remembered me from the installation days. My fingerprints still worked on the biometric locks, a convenient oversight. I navigated my way to the security control room, where I found Marcus, an old friend, manning the systems. "Emily?" Marcus looked shocked. "They said you were banned." I handed him a USB drive. "Remember when I saved your job after that breach last year? I need a favor." 20 minutes later, I was seated in the ballroom's upper control booth. Below me, guests streamed in, luminaries of the tech world, dressed in their finest. My mother greeted them in an expensive new dress, chatting animatedly. My father stood with Thomas's parents, likely discussing the merger they had announced the day before. The merger that would save Bradford Technologies from bankruptcy. The merger funded with Parker Innovation Labs money. My money. At 3:55 p.m., Kate made her entrance for photos. She looked stunning in her designer gown, her smile radiant as cameras flashed. Thomas, waiting at the altar, wore the confident expression of a man who believed he had already won. The ceremony began, and when the minister asked if anyone had objections, I activated Joe's program. The ballroom lights dimmed, and the massive screens, meant for wedding photos, sprang to life. In high definition, a presentation I had titled "The Truth About the Parker Family Fortune" began to play. Financial records, emails, secret meetings, every corrupt deal, every stolen dollar, every lie, all laid bare for the room to see. Kate's expression shifted from confusion to horror. "Turn it off," Thomas shouted, his voice echoing through the stunned room. But the hotel systems wouldn't respond to anyone but me. Then came the recording. Kate's voice, clear and unmistakable. "Once we frame Emily for the missing money, Dad will have to give me control of the company. The adopted brat never deserved it anyway," followed by Thomas's reply. "And once we merge the companies, we'll sell off Parker's assets to cover Bradford's debts. Your father won't know what hit him." Gasps filled the room as the screens shifted to security footage of Kate and Thomas doctoring financial records in his office, carefully crafting a trail to implicate me. Chaos erupted. I stepped out of the control booth, walking calmly down the main aisle. Kate, mascara streaked down her cheeks, froze when she saw me. "Security," she shrieked. "They work for me," I said, my voice low and steady. "Or rather, they work for Parker Innovation Labs Security Division, which I built from the ground up." My father stepped forward, his face ashen. "Emily." "Save it," I interrupted. "Check your email. You'll find everything you just saw, plus documentation of every innovation and client relationship I brought to the company. My resignation terms are attached. You have 1 hour to accept them." "You're bluffing," Thomas snarled. I smiled. "The SEC disagrees. They're very interested in Bradford Technologies' creative accounting, as are your shareholders." I nodded towards several pale-faced board members seated in the crowd. Turning back to Kate, I added, "You are right about one thing. I'm not a real Parker." I leaned closer, my voice dropping. "I'm better." The ballroom was in uproar as I addressed the guests. "I suggest you all go home. I don't think there's going to be a wedding today." The next few hours were a blur of lawyers, negotiations, and tears. By midnight, I held controlling interest in the company I had built. Bradford Technologies stock was in freefall, and Kate's perfect wedding had become the scandal of the year. 1 week later, I sat in my new office, formerly my father's, reviewing acquisition proposals for what remained of Bradford Technologies. A knock at the door interrupted my work. My father stood there, looking older than I'd ever seen him. "I should have believed in you," he said quietly. Yes, I replied. You should have. Can we fix this? I considered his words. Maybe not as father and daughter. You lost that right at the engagement party. But as business partners? We'll see. He nodded, defeated, and left. Turning back to the window, I gazed at the city skyline. My phone buzzed, a text from Kate.
I'm sorry.
I was wrong about everything. I didn't reply. Some apologies come too late. They say success is the best revenge. I disagree. The best revenge is forcing people to face their own lies. Kate wanted a wedding everyone would remember. She got her wish, just not in the way she planned. As for me, I'm still the same person who loves innovation and building things. The only difference is, now everyone knows what I'm capable of. And no one will ever call me just the adopted one again.